What I'm going to tell you happened to me, in that same little town. Many years ago, when I was younger, between 12 and 14, by my memory, because it was one of those small places where everyone knows everyone. At least all the children knew each other and we played together in the afternoons and at night. One of my neighbors, a little older than me, had a boyfriend. He was older than her and they had a little boy, about 6 years old. What I remember most about that man was that one leg was shorter than the other, so he limped when he walked. He was tall and always wore a hat. To me, he always gave a bad feeling. Something about him never convinced me. I never trusted him. I limited myself to greeting him out of courtesy and because he was my friend's boyfriend. One afternoon, as night was falling, we were playing and suddenly the atmosphere felt very strange. Before I could say anything, one of my friends noticed it too. It was as if the air had become heavy. We lost the desire to play and just stood talking about that uneasy feeling. Then my friend's boyfriend pulled up in his truck and started screaming from it, telling my friend to come back or he would kill himself. Apparently they had had problems and were separated. My friend told him to leave, to go home, that he was drunk and shouldn't scare his son, who was there with us. He got out of the truck, hugged his boy, told him he would not see him again and that he was going to die. Of course the child began to cry. The man told him not to cry, that he would stay with his mother, but that he had to leave. A while after that strange encounter, not far from where we were, on a road, that man had an accident and died. He was crushed in his truck and they could not do anything for him. That night, after hearing the news before going to bed, the heavy feeling we had all felt grew worse. I will never forget it. Days later, when we talked about it, my friends and I all agreed we had not been able to sleep that night. Sometime after that, as usual, I was playing with my friends outside a house not far from mine. It was late at night when my father called me from the house. That call meant it was time to stop playing. I said goodbye and started walking home. As I passed a stable, old and a little neglected, but still in use, I saw a silhouette inside. Between the darkness and the dim light of a distant street lamp, a shape formed. That hat, that tilted stance to the right because of the short leg, the height. When I saw him I greeted him as I always did, a simple good night. He just stood there, watching me, laughing with that smile I never liked. I hurried home. Before I went in my father asked, "Who were you talking to?" I said I had been talking to that man and pointed toward where I had seen him. We both turned and saw him walking down the street, limping the way only he did, lost in the darkness. My dad hugged me and told me to come inside. He made coffee and sat down with me. He asked, "You saw him, right?" "Yes," I said. "Do you remember he died a few days ago?" My father asked very seriously. I realized then that I had not remembered the accident at all. My body suddenly went weak. I felt like I was going to faint. The little coffee kept me conscious. I started to cry from fear because what we had seen had been so clear. My father had an expression I had never seen on his face. I tried to stay calm so I wouldn't scare him, but I couldn't stop crying that night. My mother got up to be with us during the morning. Later, some neighbors said they sometimes saw him walking the streets. The daughter of a neighbor told me she had seen him in that same stable, laughing and making signs with his hand, calling from the darkness. She thought at first she had imagined it, but the fear she felt when she saw that strange silhouette was real. I have more experiences to tell from that town and I will write them down.